Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to the second time I'm going through this video. Why? Because I totally recorded a whole video talking about this improvements video and totally forgot to hit record. So I just spent, I don't know, half an hour worth of talking, maybe less. It was a long time of talking and not being recorded. So means I'm going to go through this video again and give my freshest takes all over again. But that's okay, because this stuff is worth talking about. So, yeah, so we're going to watch Cyber Slade's video on Zenless could improve much more. Just some things that he suggests for the game, which, as I said last time, that only I heard, is that I have a type of personality of someone who just goes with the flow a lot of the time and just makes the most of where I'm at. And I love Zenless Zone Zero, and I love everything to do for pretty much for the most part, with like only some nitpicks here and there. I mean, a lot of that mentality said that this is my first huge gacha game. The only other time I played any kind of gacha game was Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I was really only there for the plot, and I didn't really. I dived into the gacha aspect of it, but like I didn't make much of an effort to understand it. Not at least not to the level I have with Zenless Zone Zero now, right? So I don't have a lot of perspective from what if this is as good as other gachas, what could make it better, what exists because it's a gacha versus just a poor decision. Like improve everything by giving me all the characters and all their loot, which it's an improvement, but not how gachas work. So yeah, just trying to take that all into perspective, and let's see what Cyber Slade has to say about the game and what that means for us. And I'll share my thoughts as we go through the video.
Perfection doesn't exist. In Spanish, perfección no existe.
Perfección no existe.
We can try to make...
Yeah. Bonus points for the Spanish. And some Spanish, right? Not like my Mexican Spanish, but yeah, there was you could hear it a little bit.
Make things better, right? Hello everyone, I'm Cyber Slade, and I don't...
Also, love the Gerudo. This is definitely Gerudo Valley playing in the background. I don't even think I mentioned it last time I tried to record this. This is Gerudo Valley in the background. So, excellent music choice. I approve.
I don't know why I did that kind of intro, but I know what 11 things I would like to see in Zenless Zone Zero. And without further ado, let's begin.
Yeah! Improve training ground.
Zenless VR Zone is really interesting. It's clearly inspired by Street Fighter training grounds.
Didn't notice that before. The only time I've really been exposed to the VR training grounds from Street Fighter is in Marvel vs. Capcom games, where they have a similar room.
It's missing a lot of features to be truly useful
pause when I
for
see
the
it
public.
again.
One of the things that is missing is definitely a type...
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 at least has a similar room to this. So that's why it looks familiar to me. But yeah, I can definitely see that there's inspiration taken from there. Like possible.
Of damage meter, so we can measure how much damage we can output with certain combos.
Being able to measure that would be good.
Let's not stop.
I'm gonna let him finish before I say more.
Right there. It needs to add more enemy options where we are able to see the weaknesses and the stats they have, and to be even better, you guys know the option of boosting the level of the agents in the lot.
I still don't know what that means.
Right? Let us do that as well, so we can...
I need to look up whatever power adaptation means, because I really don't know what that means. Don't know what that means.
and try and level agents and see if it's worth build or not. That would be a dream for me, and it will really help the whole community.
Right, exactly. The training ground can be expanded. I don't know if it's a gacha thing that they don't want to expand it because that would give people too much access to the enemy types and they can come up with better strats, which I guess the idea there is that if you're better at the game through all that, you'd be less likely for pulls for stronger characters, because the easiest way to get further in this game and be strong in this game is to pull for latest characters most of the time. At least that's what the sense I've gotten for playing this as long as I have. So I guess they want to avoid people getting too good so that they don't lose incentive to pull. Maybe that's why it's not there. I mean, otherwise, yeah, it should exist. Totally would. Be great if it did.
Alright, this is quick to point it out. Enough from scrolling side to side to see
Yeah.
where to fast travel.
Uh-huh.
Do some kind of 3D map where we can click straight away where we want to go. It's
Exactly.
more interactive, and I can provide a little more of scaling to the lore and where the major events happen.
Absolutely. I have that thought every time I go to Port Elpis and I see the city like in the horizon, and then be like it looks bigger than how it feels when I'm at 6th Street, right? Like you hear how big the city is, and especially because it's supposed to be the last major city in this universe, this post-apocalyptic universe, right? But if we had a map like they were displaying before, that was kind of like a 3D map, I mean, this would be ideal, right? But even I was thinking like Persona 5, right? Where when you go to different districts, you like see it zoomed out. You can kind of see where things are relative to each other. I don't know how accurate that is to the geography. I went to Tokyo like a year and a half ago, and I don't know how it all lines up, right? But that'd be great just to give us a sense for how big this city is, where things are. Like even just looking at this map, and everything looks huge, way bigger than I thought. And then it zooms into 6th Street, and like you definitely get a feel for like, oh man, this little slice of life that we have here, and how it compares to the city at large. Having been able to see that often, and then again being able to see where things are relative to each other would be great.
Where we can click straight away where we want to go. It's more interactive,
and I love this render. Whoever made this, fantastic. They were like, put this render together.
and I can provide a little more of scaling to the lore and where the major events happen.
That should be a mod. I'm sure somebody should be working on a mod to make that map happen. That'd be great.
For example, if you go to the Altar Ring, the big hall over there, is it Hollow Zero? Is it in the Port Elpis as well? Is Lost Void inside Hollow Zero, or is in the other hollow? Give me a fucking map, god damn it. I'm tired of imagining where I am.
A map would just be great.
This one I just don't understand. Because for example, with Miyabi, we can clearly see when her Frostborn and...
I didn't know that existed until this video. I had never paid attention that the debuffs that were on enemy units were displayed kind of like how our active buffs are displayed. Didn't know that. Never noticed. I don't know why.
other buffs are applied, but with many other agents, we need to guess and also drive disc buffs. Why I cannot see how many stacks of Woodpecker I have active, how many seconds of my Hormone Punk I have left. I know you can see all those buffs by pausing the game, but let me see in-game.
Yeah, exactly. Pausing the game to see those buffs, whether they're active enough or what they are, that just really takes you out of the game. Like, we should be able to improve the interface so that you can see what's going on while you're in game. And sometimes things are a lot of trouble because there is a lot happening on screen all at once. But I feel like we can improve that because it is terrible to guess where things are in their activity. And pausing the game, while as an option, is not a great option.
Battle Tower, when was introduced, was amazing, but as soon as I got all my polychromes, well, I just didn't go back anymore, and that's a shame, because it's a really challenging and fun game mode. Even though it gets repetitive, I would definitely go back if they put some materials as rewards, or maybe more Dennis. So, pretty please?
Yeah, okay, so I agree for the most part. The part I don't agree with is the poly part of it, right? It's just like with Deadly Assault, there are higher tiers of completion with these kind of events, these recurring events, but you don't get poly for that, like for the maxed out completion, right? You only get it for like maybe a mid-tier completion, like where you get 6 stars and is enough to get all your poly in Deadly Assault. I think the same thing is happening here. It gets difficult going up the tower, and at some point, you don't want to make people feel frustrated not being able to get all the polys because they can't go high enough. After a certain point, it's okay that it's just money or some like character mats. I think that maybe there should be more of them. That'd be nice. It'd be a much bigger incentive if I was getting a little more money out of it. But otherwise, like, I mean, if you said yourself, if you think it's fun, then you should be able to do it. And there is like not no rewards for doing it, so you should still do it. I like doing Battle Tower on stream. That's always kind of a fun experience, and it is challenging to play certain characters kind of up against this wall of like having very little health or trying to maintain it or regain it in certain ways. So yeah, I guess I mostly agree. Just maybe not the polychrome part of it. You don't have to make the rewards too that wild and therefore not disappoint people if they can't make it up a certain length. But yeah, we can spice up Battle Tower for sure.
Battle Tower,
I wouldn't mind that.
I would like to ask you kindly to give it a like and subscribe to support me
like.
and the
I
channel.
already did.
And thank you very much for all the support in the
I
previous
already watched this video, so I already liked it.
Let's face it, Deadly Assault is a damage check.
Speaking
You can test your hands if you want to flex, but it's not truly a skill check like Disputed Node was at its time.
Okay, yeah, Disputed Node is super challenging.
When the Disputed Node was introduced to Shield defense. And it was a really positive feedback by the community. You are really fighting to not get hit and die, so why not implement a truly hard endgame content like that again? But in the last stage, let's remove the yellow and red flash. As for rewards,
make it hard.
Well, it can be the same as Deadly Assault, or a little bit more, maybe? I don't know. I just think that a weekly endgame with a real skill check would be awesome for players who want a good challenge without needing to go through 30 floors in the Battle Tower.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Deadly Assault isn't a skill check. I don't know. I feel like it's taking away a little too much from it because it's not easy. Like it's not impossible. I mean, I get 9 stars all the time, but it's not devoid of skill. You still have to pay attention. You can still die. They mentioned the having to dodge all the time in Disputed Node. If a character dies in my Deadly Assault run, that's usually the end of it for me. so dying is not inconsequential in Deadly Assault. I mean, but that said, yeah, more Disputed Node is not bad. I definitely like that point. Disputed Node is a fun and very challenging mode, and I wouldn't mind more of it. So if they want to make that into a weekly reset, I mean, maybe even in place of Shield defense, I would not mind at all. Yeah, have that. Even the what you mentioned about the flashes disappearing. Yeah, that's all well and good. Make it difficult. But even just like with Deadly Assault, if you're gonna make it that difficult, then maybe don't lock polychromes behind all difficulties. Like at a certain point, they stop, and then the rest is just like a lot of extra money and mats. And I think that would be right. Again, very similar to how Deadly Assault is made right now.
Who want a good challenge without needing to go through 30 floors in the Battle Tower.
In-game immersion.
This might be a little controversial, but TV mode was really crucial for the immersion of the game. Sure, it has some flaws, and sometimes when it was excessive, it gets boring real quick. But it's a really good device of showing off how the proxy works, and it's also a really different take from other games.
It's an excellent device.
The agents are our muscle.
Yep, that aspect of it was one of my favorite parts of playing this game in the beginning. Just that world building of where you as a proxy, or like you said, are the brains, and where these agents are brawn, or the spear point that we send into the hollows.
There's 2 very important things about TV mode that needs to happen for it to come back. It should be short, and the puzzles should be better. No more Osu minigames, we are not kids anymore. And please, make some effort in the dialogue between gameplay. If the characters who are speaking are not in the screen, at least show a little picture on the side to indicate they are communicating remotely. Don't show just plain white text, and for the love of God, speed up the dialogue in gameplay.
Yeah, that's a problem even now. Like I think I mentioned all the time in my streams how there's such a gap in like in lines in dialogue. Well, they'll say something and then it's like it takes like 5-10 seconds for them to say the next bit of line, the dialogue. The pacing is all off. Like people don't talk like that. There should be quicker succession of your lines. but otherwise, yeah. I was a fan of TV mode, and I think it served a great purpose. Whether that purpose was specifically for its very specific gameplay, or maybe because it was easier to program and that made the developers' lives a little easier and are able to beef up other things of the game. Although ever since they took away TV mode or greatly reduced it, The cutscenes in the events have been on fire, as much as they've ever been, more than they've ever been, which is saying a lot for saying how good things have been. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I missed TV mode, but I liked it, and I liked what it did for, I guess, this immersion that Cyber is talking about, right? How it made you feel like a proxy in a very particular way. But yeah, if it could be reintroduced in a fun way that also is good for the devs, then yeah, let's do it. So I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I don't think it's, like you said, critical to immersion in this game, but I think it can be a very important component if we bring it back.
Don't make me wait 5 seconds between each character when I already finished the fight 30 seconds ago.
Amen. Amen.
ZZZ had some bangers events, and it's really a shame that many of them we can't play anymore. The tower defense, lighter fighting minigame, the photo mode, fishing. I think that implementing these things time to time and improving a little bit on it, don't be lazy, would be awesome and add a little more flavor and life to the game. Imagine the race event from Sons of Calidons. A little Mario Kart, but each agent has a special ability, like Caesar, gives you a shield bubble that block projectiles, or Bernice gives some nitro boosted speed, blasting her theme song, who knows. It doesn't need to be all the agents, just a handful of them. I'm sure players will love it.
Yeah, more minigames, but minigames are always fun, and it does stink that they disappear and can't be accessed after an event is over. So yeah, if you want to have like a minigame archive, I think it's a great idea. And if they can do more with them, like this guy's, like Cyber is suggesting, with like a Sons of Calidon Mario Kart, I'd be game. No problems there. That's all fun if it can be done.
In the version 1.6, we have the story of Hugo Vlad, but there's a lot of things that might have confused players. For example, if you haven't done Lycon's story, you wouldn't know until now about Mockingbird or Hugo, and also they should have informed about the need.
Wasn't that story part of one of the quest lines? Now that I think about it, it wasn't. I don't think it was tied to like his trust event or anything like that, was it?
To do Ambi's story before starting the main quest.
That's true. Well, sort of true. I quote unquote was lucky that I did Ambi's agent story before I did the main season 1 epilogue, and that I think that flowed way better than if I had done it the other way around. I don't think it was strictly necessary, and I guess the developers didn't think it was strictly necessary either. That's why they didn't mention it to us. But I think it flowed better that way. Like I don't know what you do with that. Like, do they need to be more upfront about that, or did they themselves not realize it? Maybe they thought it didn't need to go in that order. It reminds me of when I picked up Armasa, when we all got him for free. And I remember before I did his agent story, I did his first quest, like his first trust event, sorry. And we immediately brought up what happens to him in the agent story. And I think even then I answered in story, like, I don't know what you're talking about. like as part of his response to his trust event. And I think he even said, like, you know what I'm talking about. And like, I have no idea. And then after that, I was like, I'm going to do the agent story now. Like, I don't know if that made me think I had to, or I just was going to do it anyway, because, you can only do so many trust events in a day. But, yeah, once I did his actual, like, agent story, I was like, oh, that's what he meant by that. And I'm acting like an asshole, pretending I didn't know what he was talking about, and role-playing wise. So, yeah, I guess they do need to be more mindful about the order of certain things. And a lore encyclopedia would be great. That way, if you did happen to miss a particular character moment or an important point a character made in some other event, you know what you're talking about. I mean, that said, what's wrong, Cyber? You're not watching like 100 hours of ZZZ videos every week and getting caught up with the lore and theory crafting and replaying? Huh? You're not, Cyber? Well, everybody else is, Cyber, so I don't know what to tell you.
In general, I think the lore of ZZZ is very rich and interesting, but it's spread all over the place, including limited events, YouTube videos, secondary quests, and even Hollow Zero. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have an encyclopedia or a diary about the lore of ZZZ, and maybe a clear chronological order of when things happened until now. We have
It would be
something
nice.
that tries to do that, but is very poorly executed, missing a lot of information on terms that many players don't even know up until now, and would greatly improve the game overall. You know how much I hate that they removed the taunt from Lighter? It was so fucking cool, man. They could do just like Devil May Cry and get a little extra decibels by taunting the enemy. That
Yeah.
would be fire, man. Imagine if we could send a little kiss with Nicole to enrage the mobs. Or maybe do some little tricks with Billy Guns. But wait, why Nicole is the only one who has a hidden combo? Why is only Colette and Ben that has a duo attack? Imagine a special attack using 3 MBs in your team. Inazuma Vice would be peak, bro. Please, for the love of God,
I didn't get the reference, but
give us more things like that. Hidden moves, taunts, emotes, combo attacks. Little details like that will elevate the combat experience and uniqueness that ZZZ already has.
yeah, no complaints there. It'd be nice to have more of all of those if they can be incorporated. It would just be fun. It would make. I think the team up attacks would make like interfaction comps even better. Like not that there's a problem with them now. It's just it would give them a little more spice. Yeah, it would just overall be good. Surprised they haven't done more team up attacks since Kaleda and Ben. They only did the once, and I guess they experimented with it, and either they haven't felt a new character was right for it yet, or maybe they gave it up. Who knows? So I mean, but it'd be nice if they brought it back.
It's like
Or kept
Fortnite
doing
alone
it, I guess.
has a huge popularity because of the emotes and dance. You have the perfect game to add that type of thing, just like you did with the entrance of each character. Come on, just make it.
Oh yeah. I would love to see more entrances. Like in the typical gameplay, it seems like it's rare for the entrance strut to happen. Like sometimes it's just the standstill thing that happens most of the time. There needs to be more times where the strut comes up. And even better, it's like maybe the whole team's to strut when they're walking into an arena. Like that'd be even better if they can do that. That'd be my suggestion. Is that more instances of the strut and all 3 team members doing the strut at the same time, coming in together doing the strut rather than just one. That'd be great. That way I can see more struts more often. More struts more often.
It happen. But don't get too greedy with the emotes. A little controversial, but did you guys know that ZZZ had a co-op in the closed beta? But they
Nope.
removed it and replaced it for Notorious Hunt. Maybe the co-op is still in the oven. We don't know. But I think it has potential. My only concern is how many agents we can use on the field, because I know I'm not fucking locking on support unless it's Okako or Lucy.
What are you talking about? Like Overwatch style here?
Not happening. And about PvP.
Okay, so co-op. Yeah, I never saw the beta or the whatever it came before launch. I've never seen this mode in action before. I've never seen a video about this mode in action before, so I have no idea how it is in and of itself. If they want to implement something like that, it sounds like fun. It could be nice. It could be cool. I wouldn't say I miss it or it needs to happen, but it wouldn't be bad if they can make something fun out of it.
I think you can do it, but only if they divide in 3 categories. One for whales, who have more than 2 copies of each character, one for up to M2 characters, and the rest mixed. I think M2 is when some agents get...
I guess no comment. I don't know enough about how PvP systems in these kind of games work, because I'm looking at those and like, how do you enforce that? Like, do you make your circles too small? It just feels like a hassle, which is maybe why we don't have PvP at this point. But I mean, I guess I have nothing against what's being said about having a PvP mode. I don't know what it looks like for it to be implemented. I can't imagine it, so I can't give strong thoughts on it. I guess like if they did it and it was fun. I mean, if I did it and it was fun, that's all I need to know. But that's a black box. I don't know how to parse it.
really broken. So separating, limiting agents, or even balancing just for PvP would be nice. PvP needs to have a solid and recall ground to flourish, so characters will have different stats from the normal game, so no, even if you have M6 limited characters, it wouldn't be the same. So I don't know, just deal with it. When I think about PvP,
Maybe.
I think something similar to Dragon Nest, where each character had some poise and at least 2 or 3 cooldowns to prevent the player getting staggered to death and having a fair chance to fight. I do think it's doable, but to prevent some dramas, they shouldn't put anything too relevant as a reward.
Just like we say with Deadly Soul.
Unpopular opinion, maybe. Why this game has no merchandise like Bamboo plushies, Wenjin's figures, or an art book? Instead of reaping all money inside the game, why you guys don't lower down the price of polychromes and try to get some revenue outside the game? How about that? You guys know
I'm not against that.
you can make fans outside of gaming, right? Just look at Arcane and how many people watch and got interested in the game later on.
Oh, he said Arcane. I didn't understand what he said before. Arcane. Is there a lot of merch sales for Arcane?
So
Maybe there is. I can imagine it's a pretty popular TV show.
do some merchandise out the game and lower the prices inside the game.
I'd be happy with just more official merch outside the game, because right now merch is hard to find, and not everyone can go to Anime Expo in LA to go to your rarely stood up in our Shore's booth to get merch. So I think I see some vendors at some like Comic Cons who have ZZZ stuff, but there's some official looking figures, and then there's like stuff they make on their own, right? It's more merch would be fine. Yeah, more merch. Bring that on.
Trust me, will work. What about you who is watching right now? What do you think?
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if more merch was offered, if that would mean lower prices in game. Seems, I don't know, that doesn't seem like it balances out quite easily, but sure, if it resulted in that, I wouldn't complain.
Let me know in the comments down below, give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Cyber, out.
All right, thank you, Cyber. That was a good video. They got us thinking, that got us talking for the second time for me, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, it was fun exploring that thought exercise for what could make this game better. It's a game that I think is already great, even better. And yeah, I think for the most part, we were aligned in some of our thoughts. I had some feedback on a few of them, but yeah, then Cyber had some good ideas, and I think Hoyo has shown to be pretty receptive to feedback and criticism. So at least for ZZZ, at least I can only speak for ZZZ. So yeah, let's keep the suggestions coming and get them to Hoyo and see what they run away with, because I think they'll implement some of these and make a great game even better. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that's it for me today. Like I said before, be sure to go to Cyber Slade, subscribe him, his video, as well as mine. His first, if not mine, honestly. I thank him for the work he put into this. Link to his videos is in the description. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, you can like and subscribe to me as well. I do Twitch on midnight Tuesday, midnight Saturday. So be sure to tune in for that. Yeah, look forward to seeing you all on stream or to see your feedback on my videos. I got a bunch of other videos. I got a shipping video I did a couple weeks ago. I got pulling plans for this patch and the patch coming up. Probably making a new one of those next couple weeks once they do their special program. But yeah, join me in the ZZZ world. And with that, have a good night, everybody. Adios.